This week I'm driving the Subaru Outback Outdoors XT 2021. So design-wise, the XT model is a more rugged, more sport edition, I could say. We've got that black grille in the front. We've got also the bezel of the headlight all in black. And all around this Outback, we've got that rugged, big plastic in the front and also on the side, so you know you're able to have some rougher paths, you know, being in the gravel and the sand and all that. It's more made for adventure, I could say. We've got also this big rack here. You can carry a lot of stuff, a lot of weight here, pretty practical. Again, we've got the black lights, black logo, and this rugged part here underneath the bumper. Trunk wise, we've got a big trunk, you know, behind the second row. We've got the 920 liters of cargo space. And if we put down the seats, just like this, pretty quick and easy with those levers, you're good for 2,144 liters of space. So a pretty spacious car wagon, I could say. It's not an SUV, but you're not sacrificing on the cargo space. And here you've got this pretty, you know, this cargo shade, I could say. Really practical. You can put it just like that. And if you have larger item inside of your trunk, you can simply put it this way, so you can hide your stuff even if you have bigger stuff inside of your trunk. Under the hood, we can find a 4-cylinder Boxer 2.4 liter turbo, good for 260 horsepower and 277 foot-pounds of torque. This engine is matched to a CVT transmission. This engine has more power than the base engine. You can also have a 2.5 liter non-turbo, I could say. So you got way much more power, way much more fun with this engine. If we're looking at the base price for a Subaru Outback, it's just over 33,000 Canadian. And the model I'm driving this week is just over 41,000. All right, behind the wheel of the Subaru Outback XT. You know, it's no surprise, you know, the Outback, it's the most popular, you know, wagon in North America. It's the #1 selling, you know, in wagon by far. It's really popular. You know, a lot of people are considering this over an SUV. You know, a lot of people don't like SUVs and they still love rugged wagon like this one. You know, I like the style, you know, of this XT model. You know, you have a lot of hard plastic all around your car, you know, to protect it against the elements and all the rocks and the salt and all that. Especially me here, you know, where I live in Canada. I've got some pretty rough roads. I'm pretty close to a ski resort and all that. We get some decent amount of snow every year. So where I live, these cars are really popular. You know, no surprise there with the symmetric all-wheel drive and all that. But you know, driving this Outback behind the wheel, you know, the power is decent. You know, similar to the you know, other SUVs, and a little bit more powerful than the normal, you know, car and sedan. The power is there, no complaint about it. Obviously, it's a CVT automatic. I'm not a big fan of CVTs. They kind of tone down the fun of driving this car. You know, my feeling behind the wheel of this car, it's a really easy car to drive, even if it's kind of big. You know, it's a little bit bigger than the previous model, but you know, looking around, your views, all your windows and all that, it's really easy to see your surrounding. The steering wheel is really light. For most people, that's going to be a plus. For me, it's just like, you know, it removes kind of the sportiness of this car. I wish the steering wheel would be a little bit tighter, but that's my personal taste. But overall, you know, on the road, this car feels really comfortable. It feels like an SUV. You know, the way, you know, the suspension works, the seats inside are pretty large, are pretty bulky. So you don't make a sacrifice by choosing an Outback over an SUV for the comfort. Performance-wise, you know, off the line, it's pretty weak, I could say, because of the CVT. It's not aggressive. You don't use the full potential of your all-wheel drive system. I know these CVTs are really there to protect your all-wheel drive and also a bunch of parts on your Subaru, but again, it's toned down, not to have fun. It's good for, you know, average Joe, but for me, you know, even if it's an XT model, it should be a little bit more fun, you know, a little bit more aggressive. Handling wise, you know, it's decent. It's not super sharp, because this one, it's more like kind of fluffy, more comfortable. Again, you need to sacrifice a little bit on the handling, but still, you know, with the symmetrical all-wheel drive, you get some decent performance, you know, when you really push it. So that's always a plus, and that's something you have to expect out of a Subaru. Fuel economy wise, this week I was averaging around 10 liters per 100 kilometers. You know, this is really average. Subarus are not, you know, the best for the fuel economy. I did better numbers in the Chevrolet Traverse. You know, the main reason why this car doesn't really perform on the fuel economy size, it's not because of the weight, the engine, or the transmission, or whatever you think of. It's really because of the all-wheel drive system. It's always there. It's always keeping you safe down the road, but not like the Traverse. You're able to disconnect your all-wheel drive system and really be in a front-wheel drive, you know, mode. These kind of systems always a plus, you know, when you try to have better performance for your fuel economy. So fuel economy, it's okay. It's Subaru fuel economy. Interior wise, we have those you know, little red seats, really easy to clean. You know, this, you know, Outback feels really rugged. You know, the carpet inside and also in the trunk, everything's feel more rugged, more for the adventure. You know, you're still able to work with this Outback. I think that's a big plus for this car. The main thing inside of the cabin, it's really this new entertainment screen. It's huge, it's big, it's good looking. It's not the most responsive screen, and also it's not the most HD screen, but it works, you know. I wish they could get some buttons for the climate control. We still have some, but climate control on the screen, it's not, you know, my cup of tea, I could say. And it's really small on this one, so I can say this is kind of like the weakness of this screen. And also when you're using your camera, it's not super HD, but a big plus on this XT model, you've got a front camera. Just with a press of a button while you're really at low speed or just in park, you can access to this camera. It's really practical. That kind of stuff you find on big SUVs and pickup trucks. I really like that. You know, if you have some difficulties to park, or you just want to see what's in front of you while doing some off-roading, this is really practical. So on your screen, again, you know, you got a bunch of apps and all that. You got another top screen, I could say. This screen is split in three. You can change your top screen for your weather or other stuff. And also you can have access to your X mode. So with your X mode, this is like the next level of your symmetrical all-wheel drive system. So if you want to use your Subaru in some you know, sand or mud or snow or deep snow, these modes gonna help you to get out of it. So basically it's gonna control your throttle, your transmission, your engine, your traction control to get the maximum, you know, traction out of your Subaru. So again, it's a more rugged version, and you're able to go to more rugged places with your rugged Subaru. So overall, I can see easily why a lot of people are choosing the Outback over an SUV. You know, it's easier to drive, it's practical, it's still rugged, and you know, it can fit in some you know, underground parking. Some SUVs are, you know, they fit pretty tight, so it's practical to go in the country and also in the city. So overall, this car is really well balanced, really practical, you know, for daily use, you know, road trip in the country on the weekend with the kids. You got a huge trunk to bring a lot of stuff. You have a roof rack if you need to bring even more stuff. You know, you feel really in an adventurous, you know, wagon, and I like the style of the Outback, and it's still one of my favorite wagon to drive. So don't forget to subscribe, like, and share my videos, and we're gonna see each other on the next review.